Hello everyone and welcome to League of Europe. Here, F123, looking at Division 3 here. We're in here for round 3 of this season's calendar here at Zandvoort. Home race for many drivers, as you will be able to see. I'm not here alone here tonight. Kvyat Verstappen, it's a cool dude. Boy or Jonathan, he's not here tonight, so I'll be covering you through this. Means also my voice gets a little bit more of a beating, but you know what? I'm all here for it. If the entertainment is as good as it was last week, very good race there with MCR ending up taking the win. As I'm just gonna pull up the standings quickly so I can run you through them. Actually, a bit of a tight affair still at the front. Both races had a similar outcome with one driver just kind of running away with a little bit of a train behind, fighting it out for the remaining podium positions. But Cam K is still leading the championship on 55 points. Then it's MCR on 47, with Ecosmats on 42, who's not here tonight. Steban is on 39. There's a bit of a gap down to Major Falcon, also not here tonight on 23. Harry Nowak on 22. He should be maybe joining later. As he was after all able to make it. Bosnia is also on 22, with James on 20, Ryan B on 18, and Flip Namsram on 13. As we go into the constructors, Alpine is leading with 81, with Ecosmat and Steban taking it up, with the ripples of Cam K and Ryan B just in behind on 73 points. Obviously early, only round 3 of 14 here. And we should be in for a good race here. Nearly a full grid. We should have full grid by the end of qualifying, hopefully. And obviously in the sand of the Netherlands, of Zandvoort. We should be in for a good race. 14 corners around this track, around 4.3 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken. And we're hopefully in for something good. 18 minutes of qualifying, obviously first, and then preceded by a 50% race, which will be 36 laps. Obviously mandatory 2 stop still applies. Obviously some weather could be playing into it as well. We'll have to see about that one. As a Java, right, we have realized that and have selected the Inters at least. Obviously a very technical track. I think we'll see a bit more separation within the grid, within the times, compared to what it was in Silverstone last week, which is not too surprising, to be honest. And yeah, obviously I'm gonna go board with one of the Dutch drivers, or at least not yet. We'll do that as soon as we get going on the lap anyway. Swip, not the greatest start of the season, but I don't think he's quite looking for that potentially as well. He currently is in 16th place, 4 points picked up in Jeddah, none in Silverstone last week, so gonna see how the Haas driver does this week. He's still ahead of his teammate though, Sinful, who's on 3 points, just a position behind there, so the Haas drivers will be looking up to make up a little bit of ground this week. And go on board with Swip. Yeah, see how it goes as he's weaving up to prepare for his lap, heading down towards. And I will be using certain Dutch corner names here and there, just for the Dutch drivers to help out a little bit. The Arie Luyenbeek bocht as we head on to the start-finish straight down toward the Tarzan bocht. And braking around 50 meters there. Going on the right hand side a little bit too much over the curb maybe. So yes, through Gerlach and into Hoekenholz. This combination very quick, very difficult. In real life we see the drivers going up high. In the game it's a bit easier to do it low down as we head onto the Hunsenrug into the Sloten Makerbocht, which is all easily flat here. As we see it's 24-4 time split time, as Cyril has got a 5 place group penalty for a collision with Jav. Now into the Masters corner and into turn 9 and 10. I'm not actually quite sure if these corners have any names, to be honest. It's looking all decent so far for the Haas driver. DRS open for the second time here as we head down to the Hans der chicane. into turn line 11 and 12 there. We'll be referring maybe a little bit more there in the rest of the race. And now into the final corner for the Kummerbocht and into the Eileiberbocht. Obviously 18 degrees banked, all easily flat. Across the line, the Haas goes in a 1:10.1. We'll see if there's going to be any improvement compared to that. Seeing one of the Alpines close to the end of the lap, which will be Mr. Wouter actually. He's not turned up for the first two races, but now he has been able to make time. And a 9.2 is a very solid time to start out with. One of the Mercs as well, which I think is Serial at 10.4. And the Alfa Romeo of Ivo in 11.4. Flip 9.3, get himself very close to Mr. Wouter. Sway Ross in 9.7, the pole position man out in Jeddah. This time a little bit off, but still plenty of time, plenty of opportunity to try and improve. Slayer, seen a Dutch top 3 so far. Let's see if the Red Bull of Ryan B is going to prevent that. No, 14 flat so far. It's not going to bring him too far. And James as well, 19 flat. Maybe the first lap just not ideal. Bosnia across the line on the 10.2. Again, I think he's hoping for better on as well. Now just waiting it out, seeing who's far on the lap. I think Ghost Recon is pretty far. 49.1, that's a little bit down on what Swip was doing. His teammate's currently in P7. Let's see if he can improve on that. Maybe the final sector has brought him a little bit of time here. See, Aston Martin is going to go across the line here at a 1:10.6. It's only going to put a P10 so far. And he's going to have to hope for better later on. Steven is what I'm curious about. I think he'll be very quick here. And we've seen the purple sector 1 at least indicated by the game. I think he's got some really good potential to try and get some strides in the championship here. Down to third gear, coming for turn 10, accelerating out of it. And DRS is open once again. So we have one of the Williams cars just going out of the way there. See what the split time is. A 47.9 is very good. That's about 9/10 up on Swip, and the final sector still to come. We could see a 1:08 potentially already. Let's see if that's going to be the case. As I think there's James going into P3. Steban's gone round. And that is going to be that done for Steban. That's lap at least. At least he's managed to not retire. I think he'll be happy with that one. I'm curious that he didn't lose his wing. That's quite impressive. But maybe not that worst thing. I've seen Chav on the Inters just strolling around, taking one out, taking one of the brake mark boards out. He's on the Inters actually. Just maybe getting used to the track a little bit. Not using up the tires obviously with the two sub. It might be beneficial to try and save some of the tires in case of, you know, safety cars, whatever strategy options will prevent themselves throughout the race. Bunch of drivers not gone out yet. MCR, Cam K, the two championship leaders so far. Energetics as well, as I'm saying, that Cam K has gone out of the pits. So I think no, that was something else happening. Energetics not having a great start of the season. First race he couldn't make it. Last time out he I think he crashed out. Yeah, he crashed out through Chapel around halfway into the race. So, but I know the pace is there for him. I know he can probably get himself towards the front end. He said he didn't really like this track, I think. But you know, points up for the top 15, so there should be a decent amount of potential in this for him. Seeing Cam K going around pretty slowly. Not really on the lap right now. I've seen Serial Killer in P10. He's the furthest along as out lap anyway. Let's see what he's going to be capable of doing. And Alfa Romeo just in behind as well, which is Ibo. So let's see how it's going to go. ERS is already down quite a bit, so that's an interesting tactic. Here, a bit of grass picked up on the left hand side. Heading coming through turn 1. And he gets stuck on the curb, and I think that's going to be it for Serial Killer, at least through this lap. Have to wait. Let's go more Ryan B actually. Both races he's been up there, but Jeddah didn't turn out quite right. And Silverstone had a bit of fate. I think he ended up in P4 if I'm not mistaken. Heading through the first sector now onto this all flat out section. Let's see what the Red Bull can do. 24-1 is a very solid first sector actually here. Let's see if he can match this in the second and third sector. Maybe get himself up towards the front of the timesheet. One of the cars out of the way there. It's a Mercedes. Not too much issue for Ryan here as he heads through turn 10. At the third gear here. Accelerating out of it. Ooh, no short shifting, so that means he is going to be absolutely just accelerating through it. 48-1, a little bit than what Steven did, but I think it's still near the front of the timesheet. That will be anyway. So it's for the chicane quite nicely there into turn 13. And DRS open all the way from down here at least, which they have adjusted for this game. And we're going to see what the split time is. A 109.2 puts him on pole position so far. That's a good lap from Ryan B here. I'm just going to adjust my audio mix because I feel like the engine is a little bit too loud. So hopefully that sorts it out a little bit. Otherwise I can't hear myself talk, and that's a bit distracting. Should be all good now. Corvauer, a Mexican driver, let's see, across the line at 10 flat. A little bit of an improvement. Swip just in behind, starting a lap. I think it's Mr. Router coming across the line, or it's Steven just starting, but someone else, Bosnia just going up the time. She's 9.6, and that's Mr. Router on a 9 flat, going quickest so far. Zero going around, Cam K going around for his first lap, and he puts himself right up there as well in P2, 9.1. Energetic starting a lap. There's a lot of drivers on the track right now, which means traffic is definitely a point of topic. You have to watch out where other people are. Let's hope we can all do that. Seen Ibo go around the final corner as well, down in his time. Sinful's on the out lap as well as, I think Jav is on the out lap here as well. James going around. He's down in his time, so he's abandoned his lap so far. So we'll go back to Swip. Slightly down in his time currently. I think there's a serial killer jump up to P11 though, taking that spot from Swip actually. If the DRS is open for Swip, he could maybe get himself back up ahead of the Mercedes reserve currently. And across the line at 10.1, I think that's the tiniest of improvements. Steban, on the other hand, into P2. So he's definitely put himself out there. Probably has some more time in as well. I wouldn't be surprised if so. Seen Energetics towards the end of the lap. 48.3 is not too bad actually. Himself around James Slayer, that sort of area. Maybe Flip. Yeah, right. I was right the first time. So 9.5 there for the Ferrari man. Into P7 he goes. Just going around James, I think, as well, towards the end of the lap. Just starting one again. Slayer up into P5. Making it quite close as well as the MCR. He jumps up into P2 as well. 9.1. Good lap from the Spaniard. Today we have a Spanish lineup in McLaren, so I think they'll be happy with that. Sinful only at 12.3. I think Ibo going across the line as well as Jav. He puts himself into P13 and 9.9. Very close so far, at least in qualifying. Only right about a second between the top 16. It's quite impressive from these drivers. I'm happy to see that. Just going around, Flip now was 2.5 tenths up for the second sector split. He could get himself up near the front as well. One of the Dutch drivers here, and a 109 flat hit this again. Slightly quicker than Mr. Wouter, about 21 thousandths there is the difference. And he puts himself into pole position so far. James as well towards the end of the lap. Just coming for the chicane there. So it's a energetic system behind. I hope Harry Noir can still join, by the way. I'm not quite sure if he's going to make it, but so energetic actually goes off the track there. James across the line. Let's see, get himself up there. 9 flat as well. In between Flip and Mr. Wouter somehow. And that makes it all the more close. It has been. Top 8, but separated by 2 tenths. Ghost Recon has crashed out here, as we see right on board with James. You can see him on the left there. Must have clouded a curb. Because otherwise I can't explain that. Sinful 10.2, P17. Jav going back into the pits, as well as Ivo just going across the line doing his laps. 5.5 minutes remaining in the session. And yeah, I actually can see the gaps are ridiculously close. I was completely wrong about this, having a bit more separation, because everyone is right about within a second, apart from Ghost Recon and Ibo. That's very impressive, I have to say. So let's hope we can continue to see that throughout the rest of the session. 5 minutes, everyone's gonna prepare for the final run, I reckon. And we'll see how this is gonna go. If you will excuse me, I will actually get some water. I'm gonna leave Querfauer on the screen as he is just about to start a lap, so he gets something to watch. I'll be back in like a minute. Right, as I've called back on to the session, got my water, so I should be fine for the rest of the race. Not have too many hiccups. Querfauer I saw up in his time. And let's see what the Mexican can do as he heads towards the final banking. And across the line he will go. 109.7, puts him into P12. I think that's going to be the end of the session for the Aston Martin. I don't think he's going to get another lap in, unless he has enough fuel to do another. And even then you have to save up ERS, so that might be the maximum there is in this session for him. We'll have to see. Looking a bit further down, Serial Killer as well on the lap, slightly up in the first sector, 24.4. So that's through turn 7, a little bit laggy there. The turn 8, you don't want to get stuck on that curb on the outside, by the way. If anyone's watching of the drivers, that is a vicious curb. And the exit of that right-hander, you just, once you get on it, you can't get off it. So that's very difficult. Slightly up still on this time is Serial Killer as he heads into the chicane. So reserving currently for, I should say it right, Major Falcon, who said he was ill, so we wish him all the best. Yeah, Serial Killer across the line. He's going to hit the wall there actually. He's going to be up in his time, 9.7 as well. 5 thousandths off the time of Querfauer, so that's actually once again very close. I'm gonna have a look throughout the rest of this session who's gonna be able to improve. The pressure's gonna be on. 1 and a bit remaining here, just under 2 minutes. Axel is just starting a lap. Most drivers just starting a lap. I'm just trying to catch on to someone who is further along, like Bosnia, 4 tenths up nearly for the second sector split there. And across the line, is he going to get pole? He is. First driver in the 108, 108.961 there. And he'll be very happy with that one. At least getting himself near the front of the grid. James is just starting a lap as well. Energetics is again starting. I think he was on a lap as Bandit. Same goes for Swip, potentially. You're just starting a lap. Sinful as well, just on the end of his out lap. MCR could be on an out lap as well. Mr. Wouter stayed in the pits as well, Flip Namstrom as well as Slayer. So they're just deciding that's enough for it. For me, Steban towards the end of the lap goes into P2. He was down this time, so I didn't think he was going to improve. He had so much time in the last sector. Gets itself 2 thousandths of the time of Bosnia. That's so close. There once again, can someone else break into that? Is that Ryan B just starting a lap? Camk looks done actually already. Axel towards the end of the lap into P11 and a 9.5. Solid lap there. Sway Ross just trying to build up to go again. It was just going out the way for him. Energetics end of the lap, 10th up. Constant yellow flag, just people going by. 20 seconds, I just saw about there. Can Energetics get himself higher up? Maybe some time in the last sector, or is it going to be it for the Dutchman in P10 gonna go again. I think that was the flag out right there. So he might just about get another lap in. And we'll see as the flag is out now, actually. So that's gonna be it. Sinful towards the end of the lap, 3.5 tenths up. Gonna get himself a bit higher up. 9.8 into P15, solid enough. MCR gets himself into pole position. No, 8.9, good lap. Well, the Red Bulls, that will be Kamke. He is done. Jaff looks done as well in P16. He won't be happy. He's looking at some good pace earlier on. Ryan B slightly up, gets a little bit of slipstream from the Alpine there. And across the line, he's gonna go right ahead of his teammate. P7 and 8 for the Red Bulls currently. Is anyone else going to be able to improve? Axel seems done. Sway Ross could be the only one here, as well as James potentially. And maybe Swip. We're going to have to see. The Swedish driver here in P12 currently. Early in the lap he said okay, early in the session he said the lap. Let's see if he can improve now. 9.3 gets him into P11. And look how darn close it is. That's absolutely ridiculous. Can James get it to pole position? He's a 10th up. It could be enough. Is it going to be enough? Across the line he goes. Not quite. 9 flat. Lost a little bit of time in the last sector. In P4 he's going to be with I think that's Swip just having a minor improvement, getting himself ahead of Jav. And that's going to be concluding our qualifying session, as Energetics is the only one to have to get back to the pits then, or at least across the line. MCR going to take pole position here for the second week in a row, half a tenth ahead of Bosnia, and look how close it is. I'm just going to bring up the gaps here because that is actually ridiculous. Yeah, that's so close. 4 tenths between the top 11. I see that often enough in maybe Division 1, but for Division 3 to be that close, absolute kudos to those drivers up there, and as well down there, like lower down as well. They're very close there as well. So, yeah, should be in for a competitive race here. MCR is going to be leading the grid though. As MCR will be on pole position ahead of Bosnia, with Steban and James on the second row here. With Flip and Mr. Wouter on 5th and 6th. Then there's Ryan B and Cam K in 7th and 8th, of making an old Red Bull 4th row, with an old Dutch 5th row as well. Slayer and Energetic next to each other, teammates from last season. And outside the top 10 we have Sway Ross on the 11th, then Axel, Quervauer and Serial Killer. Although he might be set further back. I'm not quite sure if we have a restart on, not on that, we're going to have to see. Sinful on Swip 15th to 16th, then it's Jaff, goes Recon, Ibo, and I saw Harry Nork left the session just there. So we're going to have to see what goes on here. But I don't see any calls from the div organizer, so I reckon we'll just keep going. In terms of strategy, we could see a lot of things. Mediums are a very good tire around here, normally. So, I'm not too sure that's going to go. I reckon we'll see a lot of mediums though, and then it's just a case of do you use softs or hards. It depends there. So, unfortunately, Harry Nork wasn't able to make it. Nah, I don't think we're getting a reset, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, in terms of strategy, we'll see some interesting things happen, I think. Any combination of a two-stop can work here. Hards are pretty good tires, softs are obviously quick. So it's going to be very interesting to see who's doing what. So we're just waiting here. Hope people can load in. There we go. And we're going to see what tires people choose to go on. And yeah, we see a variation here. Mostly between mediums and softs. With Swip being the outlier in P15 on the hards. So just running you through, the top 3 is on the mediums here. MCR, Bosnia and Steban here. James on the softs in P4. And switching it around, mediums, Flip in 5th, 6th, Mr. Wouter on the softs. 7th is Ryan B on the mediums, Cam K is 8th on the softs as well. Then a run of mediums with Slayer, Energetic, and Sway Rolls in 9th, 10th, and 11th. Axel and Querfire in 12th and 13th on the soft flip, and 14th. Sinful in 14th on the mediums. So Slayer and Energetic got disqualified there. Not too smart. With Swip down in 15th on the hearts, he's the only one there. He's going to have to do some heating up. As well as James and Flip now getting disqualified. This is not too smart from some of these drivers. Jav, Ghost Recon, Ibo all on the softs in 16th, 17th and 18th. With Serial Killer in 19th on the mediums then. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. I think the soft runners are going to be pitting early. Serial Killer and Ibo just getting very close together as well. And both of them disqualified. Peculiar behavior there. It's just going to be an advantage to everyone who hasn't done that. I'm going to see if MCR is going to be able to keep his lead and go for a second race win. Scamk going to be able to come back from 8th place to try and take the win. Or are we going to get a new winner, which is would be good as well. So the last cars, well, the most cars just getting up to the straight and picking up their starting grid spots. Obviously, a few drivers with cold tires could make the start a little bit more hectic now. So we'll have to see how that goes. As we hopefully get a better camera angle this. Well, this is actually worse. I think we're going to get one from the back end. It's the only thing I can imagine. 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And away we go there. Looks like MCR has a good start. I'm just trying to get a good camera angle there. It looks like he does. And he's going to maintain the lead down in towards turn 1. Bosnia trying to get on the inside there. Steban has actually managed to crawl around the outside. Pretty clean start all around though. Turn towards turn 2 and 3. It's the most hectic though. Both Ripples getting involved and Energetic going the right hand side into the wall, I think, out of turn 2. Looking further up, MCR's got a little bit of a gap there. We've seen side by side action between Ryan B and Flip, with Flip dropping down a couple positions and into 8th. And he's going to have to get behind the Ripples for now. More fighting between Sinful and Jav. Jav was Sinful actually there on the grass, right ahead of Cyril Ibo as well, getting involved. MCR is looking to break the gap here though. 87% of ERS. ERS is going to be important. You can ignore those AWS strategies because they're not going to be applied here. Scamk and Ryan B getting very close together there. Ryan B just about holding on the position to Flip as well. Must have made a mistake. As I've seen the Aston Martin side by side into turn 13. Quervauer just getting ahead of Ghost Recon. And fastest lap as we see one of the Alfa Romeos, that is Sueros just losing it. I think running into the side of Axel with that. And he's driving again, which means he reset the track. So that's also not preferable. But MCR, look at this pace he's already put on. Obviously, you can ignore the timing gaps on lap 2. That's as usual. He looks to have a little bit of a gap here down towards Steban. I don't think it's a second, but he's going to be happy with that nonetheless and trying to hold on to that. But now he is. We have a train down towards the second Alpha Tauri currently. Obviously, next game you're going to have to call that something different. That's going to be a bit of a struggle. Swip as well, having a very good start actually. Up to 12 on those hearts. Just avoiding the carnage potentially. And he's up at the 12. Could make this strategy work with it, maybe. We'll have to see what he's going to aim for. So you see Bosnia under pressure from James here. James trying to get past, making use of the softs. The softs don't stay that good for that long. So I think James is going to aim to get past Bosnia. And I think he's going to do that. So he gets alongside, seems several fastest laps come in. The latest of Mr. Wouter in P5. And that's the move there for James. He's into P3. Bosnia trying to get back, but I think he knows he's kind of futile to do that right now. Maybe just better to spare that race. He goes a bit deep into there. One of the Haas cars around, that's Sinful. And he is around at turn 1, a bit further back now. Just checking. I don't think energetic made a stop, so that must mean he is not damaged his car, but he's just 20 seconds behind, which is a long time to recover for a spin. So that's not ideal. Yeah, still train all the way down to P10. Querfauer and P11 still trying to hang on. He's around a second behind. But it's not easy for him right now. Seeing James further on the charts as he's now right behind Steban. Looking to get a move done. Maybe down towards turn 1 once again. It's the most common overtaking spot. I'm gonna see, but he's losing a little bit of touch here for these corners. And a little bit of grass is not going to help quite a lot there. And no move on down towards turn 1. It's going to stay as it is, status quo here. For the time being anyway. Quayfarer's got in there, so Swip is getting passed by Ghost Recon the American. As Swip, I don't know what he was doing there. He was just driving into the back of Ghost Recon. I hope he doesn't have damage, but I hope damage is actually on. I've seen several occasions where it's not, well, there should be damage and there's not anything flying off, so I just hope that that's the case. MCR is now being caught up by Steban. We've seen the Alpine right in the back of the McLaren. All following each other through this middle sector, and that which again is a DRS zone, but I don't think it's going to be close enough here for Steban. Better avoiding down towards turn 1. Pick your moment then. Just following through here now. It's not the easiest way of doing it. Steban right in the back of MCR there. Obviously there's damage on because Ghost Recon did retire, so that's interesting to see. Swip has lost a little bit of touch as well, so I reckon there's damage there. But we've seen Steban go for a move for the lead, and James may be capitalizing on that as well. The other Alpine go for a move as well. Late lunge from Steban is going to allow switchback for MCR. But the better exit for Steban still, so he's ahead. Mr. Wout has got past Bosnia then, and he's up into P4, a bit of a slide here and there, into turn 3. Kamke having a bit of a look there as well. Big slide in the exit there for Kamke, and he's going to allow his teammate to go back through here. And right under pressure from Flip, the amount of slipstream you generate if you're not behind if you're behind a car that doesn't have slipstream himself, it's quite a lot, and that has to do just with it being uphill. You just can gain a lot more, and the wind is just, well, right in your face anyway. So it's quite difficult to capitalize on that properly. As Flip is having a look down the inside on Kamke, a late lunge. Kamke forcing him back out. Hard racing between the two. Looks all fair so far. Flip down the inside here still. Who's going to get the better out of this? Bit of contact there on the exit. Both get DRS obviously. And both are losing touch here. And Slayer's maybe trying to get involved as well. We see more action towards the front as well. MCR getting close, but staying behind so far. Flip back down the inside of Kamke. A little bit of a hit there from Flip on the back of Kamke's car. And settles the Williams. But doesn't seem to be doing that much. Might just be better to wait it out a little bit longer and let Kamke get back in DRS so you don't lose touch to the top guys, because that is important right now as well. It's a track where it's, you use a lot of fuel, so if someone's hearing this and they've gone low on fuel, good luck if there's no safety car. So that's definitely a factor. ERS is also very difficult to gain back, so it's going to be interesting to see who does it the best. MCO is down to 50%, as well as James, and Mr. Wout is down to 20%. So they're going to have a difficult time, whereas Ryan B, Bosnia, Steban at the front as well. They've kept their battery done pretty well here, 75-80% roughly. Obviously James still has a fair ton as well. But MCR a bit lower. He's using DRS to get back past Steban right now, and that should be a pretty easy move. James no intention of following through. Stand behind. Flip with a late lunge there on Kamke, and that seemed audacious there. Bit of contact as well, I think. Really just needs to settle down here, I think, the Williams. Just get himself in the rhythm. Don't be trying too much, otherwise you're going to lose a front wing at some point. Bosnia right in the back of Mr. Wouter. This could be close down towards turn 7. It is an overtaking opportunity, but it's a very audacious one once again. Steban right in the back of MCR, by the way. I think Steban's face is looking very good. Bit like big lunge there for Bosnia. Mr. Vouter giving the space. Around the outside. Oh, has a big look there, but not quite an overtaking opportunity unless you have much fresher tires. And Bosnia is waiting for it, and now Ryan B is looking for a move down into the chicane. Backs out of it at the last second. Forces Bosnia a little bit deep though. Bunches them up and might allow Ryan B to do something on the straight. So you see Steven right back on the rear end of the McLaren of MCR. You can see another swap for the lead here. See Alpine right in the back here. It's going to move. Beautiful helicopter shot there. And Steven is back into the lead after one lap of giving away. It's all fine there. Well, both Red Bulls following through. This top 9 is absolutely ridiculously close. As Jav has got through on goes Recon running out of the turn 1. Good move from the Spaniard there. Out of ERS, so he's going to have some catching up to do. See the first pit stop there for Serial Killer. From the mediums, he's going to have to go to the hards. Which is a strategy I was intending. I actually did it myself. Medium, hard, medium in Division 1. So it's definitely a good option, let's say. As MCR is now feeling the pressure from James as well as Mr. Wouter. This is all so close together. I wonder what these guys think of this. His flip is going around the outside here of Camp K. If he pulls that one off, that would be a beauty of a move. Side by side down towards the chicane. This could only end in one way. Who's going to get the better though? Down late into chicane, bit of contact, bit of gravel picked up by Cam K as well on the inside. Who's going to get the better on the exit? It's still side by side. Looks all fair square as far as it can be. You're going to be difficult to flip. I think just getting a little bit too tight, bit on the curb, slides out, and that is a virtual safety car. And that's going to allow people to pit. That's going to allow people to pit. And the ones who capitalize on this are the two Red Bulls, but Cam K is going to have to double stack here. Querfauer, Axel is in, Ryan B is in. And that's a double stack here for Cam K. Championship leader is going to lose out here. I don't think that was the best call following his teammate in, unless he has damage, and I don't think he does. Softs for both Red Bulls, mediums for most other drivers. It's going to remain a virtual safety car for the time being. Jav is in, Flip is in as well, obviously, for that wing change. So if everyone from down there is in, Sinful staying out here. So he's going to be a little bit of a roadblock in there. For certain drivers. Jav got out ahead there. Jav is now not far behind Cam K. So that'll be interesting to see. Ryan B down is 7th. Querfauer in 8th, not far behind either. Axel 9th on the mediums as well, as Querfauer as well. Cam K in the softs. He's going to want to get going. Jav on the mediums at P11. He is going to be happy with this, I think. Just making sure you don't speed. This virtual safety car is lasting quite a while, but we should get on the way pretty soon. Since we'll stay out, then goes Recon onto mediums as we go back on the way. No one's speeding. That's going to be positive for everyone here. Is James and Mr. Wouter, are they going to continue on or are they going to pit here? Because this softs are going to be absolutely dead. James going in, Mr. Wouter staying out. As we see another swap for the lead. MCR is back through on Steban. 5-second penalty for James though, speeding in the pit lane. Seen a few drivers do that earlier in other divisions, and James is not the last one, I reckon, either. He's onto a set of mediums. Let's see how much he loses out, because he was ahead of Ryan B, remember? So he could be maybe out next to Querfauer here. Cam K came through an Axel in the meantime in background. Seeing on the exit here, Querfauer is going to get the better of James. Jesus! If you look back on stream at that point, that was very close, James. I can't lie. Jeez, that scared me a little bit. But he's down behind Querfauer, just ahead of Cam K as well, who, remember, double stacked. So, yeah, these guys are going to have won a lot of time. I think Ryan B is going to be especially happy here at this point. He's going from medium to soft, which means he's going to have to do a medium or a hard stint at the end. So that could be interesting near the end of the race. See Steban and MCR still coming out. Steban back up to 100% ERS. Mr. Wouter still staying out as well. And as long as you get the DRS, it's not too bad of an option here. I'm curious what he's going to do in strategy though, because 10, 11 laps is going to be on softs at least. That's a long time, so he's going to have to maybe do a double medium stint, but you have fresher mediums, I guess. So we see a fastest lap for Ryan B, 11.7. Kamke breaking that with 11.5. Called into the back of James now. And the American is going to be greedy to get through, I think, after maybe making just the wrong call there. Flip is getting through on Swip for P14. And his next victim will be Ghost Recon. So let's see how that's going to go. It's going to be a little bit of train behind Cuervo, I think. Mexican driver just coming through turn 8 there. Yeah, this is the curve I'm talking about on the left hand side there. If you get more than like half your car over there, you can't quite get it off there, and yeah, that's just awful. It's the only word to describe it. Steban still in the back of MCR, still staying out, and Mr. Wout has gone in. Softs are done. Interestingly enough, Bosnia and Slayer following him, as Steban has got back through on MCR for the so many time. And I think they're all going to get passed here by Ryan B. See mediums for Mr. Wouter. Hards for Bosnia, as James hits the fastest lap of the race. Mediums for Slayer as well, so quite a few different strategies. Bosnia is obviously the one that stands out. On to Hards he goes. It's going to be a bit to warm them up. It's going to be quite difficult, but it might work out. As Cuervo and James are side by side for turn 3. I don't know if James just went around the outside there or did Cuervo made a mistake. Kamke will be eager to get through here as well, the American and the Mexican. Don't say that to certain people. But Kamke right on the back here of Cuervo. And unless Softy want to get through, MCR has gone back for Steban, who might have made a mistake there, considering the amount of time he did lose there on the exit. Kamke will be eager, but it's going to be here already, or is he going to have to wait till the start-finish straight? See the top 2, the only ones that have not pitted yet along with Sinful. And they're both in here, they need to make sure they don't speed, and they're right on the back of each other there. But MCR taking it very cautious, and Steban wanting to take a bit more risk, but there was a car ahead, so... And we've seen different strategies there. Softs for Steban, mediums for MCR, so... Steban looking to opt for a soft medium, whereas MCR has a bit more openness. I'm going right on the inside there of Cuervo, not quite able to pull that one off. I see how far back MCR and Steban gone. They were for 1 and 2. They're now going to be 7 and 8, if not 9. Steban right side by side with Bosnia. And the exit, who's going to bet the better of it? Long way around goes Steban, and it's going to get squeezed out. But down towards the turn 7, is Steban going to be looking for another move? He's right in the back of the Williams. Not quite here, but he's going to have more grip, so expect to move pretty soon. And he's looking for it already. They're going to be up to temperature right away, the softs. Don't need a high window there. And I think on the exit here we could maybe already see a move, but he doesn't get the best of exit, and Bosnia does get a good one. So Bosnia waiting it out in P8 on the hards. But now, as it stands, we have Ryan being first, James at a second, but he has a 5-second penalty. Remember that, he's going to have to serve that for the second stop. And it's Cuervo in P3, with Kamke in P4. Axel has jumped up kind of quietly into P5, so we have yellow flags with one of the Haas cars going around. Axel in P5, Mr. White in P6, it's Cuervo and James are still side by side. Cuervo getting down the inside, has to wait it out for now though. Steban has now got past Bosnia. It's all going to be good. It's Sinful's not quite enjoying his time here today. So yeah, Mr. Wouter P6, MCR P7, Steban P8, Bosnia now P9, Slayer P10, Jav P11. Then it goes Recon, Flip and Sway Ross in 12th, 13th and 14th, Swip in 15th, and then Serial Killer, Energetic, Sinful and Ibo. Down there it's Sinful still to make a stop, and it's going to be behind Ibo at that point. Kamke got through on Cuervo here. For turn 10, there's an audacious place to make a move. But it's working out for the American. He's now up into P3. James next ahead. Obviously doesn't have to get past. But this virtual safety car seems to have worked out here. Although, you have to say, with the consideration of how fresh tires work on this game, it can be very, very good. We could be in for a very weird scenario where there's quicker cars behind are going to go for a move. Cuervo is going for a move. And looking to get that done, but I think Kamke has more momentum on the outside and keeps that position there. They're going to see a scenario where the cars in front are going to be slower, and the cars behind are going to all catch him up, and I think it's only beneficial currently for Ryan B, who's just trying to get away here on the softs. Has clean air, no one behind him, no pressure. Just has to do his own thing, and as long as he's doing that, he could be on for a race win. But obviously it's still early, lap 15. A lot of things could change, but we still have a very close battle. You did have a DRS turning from P2 all the way down to P10 here. I mean, it's impressive. I've not seen anything like this in a long time, in the lowest division of the grid, well, of the league anyway. So I'm very happy to see this. It's Sinful is finally pitted onto a set of softs. Quervauer is still in the back of Kamke. He's not managed to keep the DRS of James, who is gaining on Ryan B. More yellows for Serial Killer. See Steven right on the back of Mr. Wouter, actually on the back of Axel, trying to get around the outside. Quervauer made the move stick on Kamke. Kamke's softs maybe not held on there. Look at MCR being audacious there, and I think that was a little bit too much. Steven now going through, he's back at the P7. MCR look at the counter on the outside, a little bit of contact on the mid corner there. But it looks like Steban's holding on there for P7 for dear life as well. MCR just a bit too audacious, I think. Trying to get around the outside of Axel, but it just cost him his fall because there was no real room there. Yeah, the mediums are now currently better than the softs of Ryan B and Kamke, and they're gonna not have too long before they have to pit again. Seen the flashing lights from Quervauer low in ERS. Seen MCR and getting back alongside Steban here. Down towards the chicane. Steven's going to stay ahead for now. Some great racing here. It has to be said. So Mr. Wouter not quite caught on either with the top guys here. Has fresher tires, so should be able to. But Axel is going to have DRS here. And he sees the red flashing light for Mr. Wouter. And all of these guys see that as well. They're seeing the gap and they want to get through. But they can't quite right now. You have to wait it out. Quervauer is called back up to James. He's holding on very well. I don't see him as one of the quickest drivers on the script, but he's holding on very well today. As currently P3, maybe even on for a podium. He could hope. But as I see, as we see a lot of side-by-side action there. It was Steven and MCR once again down towards turn 7. That's absolutely ridiculous how close these cars are. I think a lot of these drivers will be very nervous right now as well. MCR trying to make a move, but it's not quite enough room here. It's a difficult track to overtake. MCR looking, but not quite able to do it. If a Bosnia is ideal, because the longer these guys kind of stay with him and stay squabbling around and not quite moving around. So Axel's looking for a move into the chicane, not quite able to make that one work. The longer these guys are going to ruin their tires by fighting each other, the longer Bosnia is going to have a benefit of those hearts being better on, once the tires are a bit more worn. So that's the moment Bosnia has to capitalize on it. Seeing more side-by-side action, free wide action here. There's Steban on the inside and gets both. Axel, Mr. Wouter all the way dropping down to P8. We see yellow flag. Quervauer is going around the motor. Say he's doing well, and then that happens. See more side-by-side action. Bosnia getting around the outside of Mr. Wouter. That is absolutely ridiculous, but he's managed to make that one stick. So Quervauer still trying to recover his car. That's just going to put him further and further back, and he's kind of out of the contention of that podium now. That's unfortunate to see for him. Yeah, Bosnia up into P7, and Mr. Wouter just losing a bunch of positions there. Not quite sure what that's about. Lone ERS, so that's not going to help, but all rounds, not a great moment there for the Dutchman. This is seeing Slayer now get through on Mr. Wouter as well. Does he have damage potentially? We can't quite see it, but I wouldn't be surprised at this point because I know he's not a slow driver. You see more action here. MCR is going to try to get through here on Axel, but no ERS here for MCR. So he's going to have to do it in the corner. He's going to have to do it in the braking zone. Late on the brakes. Axel comes a little bit inside with the track coming inside as well, but looks all okay. Hope there's no damage for either of those guys. And the gap to James and Kamke growing bigger, and this is going to be important for a lot of these guys, because obviously James has that 5-second penalty, so the more room you give him, the worse it's going to get for you. Cuervo also getting a 5-second penalty to make it even worse. As Bosnia is trying to get through an Axel here on the inside, no chance he's going to do it there. And yeah, he's backing out of that one, that's a smart decision. He's still looking for a move here. Maybe towards the chicane here. But I don't think he's going to be close enough. Once again, he's using though. A little bit. But again, not quite able to foster a move there. So he's going to have to wait out. Cuervo has gone onto a set of hearts. Then a P17. Best he can hope for currently is points, I think. Which is definitely not impossible. Top 15 obviously get points. So you know, there's a good chance. And we have a race leader come into the pits. Ryan B. He's going to go instead of mediums, I think, as MCR's got past Steban. Steban's softs now dying out, which means MCR's mediums haven't just yet. Yeah, a set of mediums for Ryan B. His flip has gone past Jav here for P9 now, that will be, as Ryan B has pit. And he's going to be all the way down to P13. Look how close that grid still is. I'd love to see it. Slayer got past Axel here as well, after he's swapping positions. Obviously, Slayer not full-time, but nonetheless, currently teammates. I've seen James at the front of the grid still. Kamke following 1.4 down to MCR. Steban, Bosnia, Slayer, Axel, Mr. Wouter still in there. Mr. Wouter getting a little bit wide. I think he might have gone on that curve I was talking about. And just losing a lot of time now. He's down about 4 seconds on Axel now. In P8 still, but his tires are going to be not in the best condition going on that grass, it looked like. MCR just missed out on DRS, and that's going to be leaving him vulnerable. Steban as well, low on ERS. It's going to be interesting. Ryan B and Sway Ross swapping positions. Ryan B getting through. And he's already up to P12 and getting that undercut on the rest of the grid. And then it's just about holding out. Slayer to the outside of Bosnia. Into turn 1 for P5. Bosnia forced him out a little bit, but it's all good and well. Mr. Wouter gone in now. Obviously, in Slayer having to back out of that one for now. Maybe getting a better exit, but yeah, not close enough here. And, I would stop using the ERS at that point. Yeah, Mr. Wouter onto a set of new mediums. And he's gonna come out in P15 here. Obviously, a lot of drivers still yet to make the second stop. Most drivers actually, apart from Ryan Baden. Who's ended up just at the front with the right strategy call at the right moment. Maybe a little bit of luck. But he did make that call, and I think there were others that could have made that call as well. You know, you see a car in the off, you might anticipate on it. It was around the window. So he's now getting past goes Recon on the left hand side there. Towards the chicane, braking later, and easy move back into the top 10 for Ryan B. And, anyone up to the pit yet? It is getting around that point where we will see drives go in. Steban thought about a move, but backed out of that one. Doesn't want to lose too much more time. Kamke has been on these softs for 13 laps and still has solid pace to them and still a bunch of ERS. Impressive there. Goes Recon going into the pits, and as we prepare, just gonna take a sip of water. This train's pretty much still intact here, with Bosnia hounding the back of Steban here. On those hearts, this is the time you have to shine. At least he's able to hold on here. Very solid tire here. And we're going to have a quick look at the gap between James and Ryan B, which are around 12 seconds. So you see he's going to have around a 6-7 second lead, because James is going to have to serve that pin. So, oh, James has gone wide, run into the wall, and that is it. That's going to be damage. He's going to have to pit here now. Kamke has gone in as well. Get a 3-second time penalty, I think, for crossing the line there. Gonna have a hold on that, because I think there is a chance that gets removed. And we've seen it hard for James as well. And a 5-second serve, so he's going to be out of the running. Ryan B is getting through on Jav here. Jav still going to hold on there. Camcase pitted onto mediums, Steven onto mediums, but yes, James is still in the pits on hards. This is... Oh, he got stuck on that curb as well there. Just got a bit too wide. And from that point onwards, it's just hope and pray. And yeah, he just kind of drove on into the wall, damaged wing, and he's now behind. Goes recon even in P15, so he's just gonna try to salvage points from here, but it's gonna be difficult to do. Ryan B on the back of Flip Namsram this time out. Flip Namsram just losing the car on his own, and I think there was contact with Ryan B after he lost track of the car there, Flip, and that just sends him round. I hope there's no damage for him, but it could well be for the Dutchman. But I don't think that was inflicted by Ryan B in any particular fashion. Just to get that out of the way. MCR is going into the pits now as well, so Axel. Both drivers in a solid position here. Could be on for a set of mediums again. Maybe softs. It's a long way to take softs, but Camke's done it, so why not? Bosnia Slayer still out here, as well as Jav and Sway Ross. Flip Nams are now coming into the pit. Energetics still out here as well. All the tires, as well as Swip, who's now getting passed by Goes Recon around the outside there. Yeah, Aston Martin into P13. Hards for Flip Namsram. Hards for MCR, interestingly enough, as well. But yeah, Camke getting a 3-second penalty is going to be interesting to see whether he gets that removed. I reckon, I'm not quite sure if that's removable. I think the stewards will have to take a look at that. For the time being, he does have that 3 seconds, so we're going to assume that he does. Because otherwise it just becomes too complicated. So right now he is not looking... Well, he's still looking to have the gap on MCR and Steban, I think. And Steban wanting to get through, and MCR is on the harder tire. At the end, I'm not quite sure if that's the best move to do. MCR obviously gone soft medium. It must have been on the softer allocation then, because otherwise there's no point in going to the hards. Axel's on the set of medium, so he's going to be enjoying it. Slayer's gone on the set of hards. See more yellow flags. It's Bosnian Slayer into the pits. And coming out right behind these two. Mr. Wouter getting a fast lap there, 11.4. Now it's just Jav and Sway Ross and Energetics further down, as well as Swip, who are still yet to make a second stop. As well as Ebo actually, and Sinful. So, yeah, still a bunch of cars, but I think the last two don't really, unless someone retires, they don't really have much chance of a point. Ryan B on the other hand, currently enjoying a very comfortable lead, because you have to remember, Jav is still yet to pit. He doesn't count in this equation. He has a 7-second gap to Camke, as Axel's getting past the Slayer. Both AlphaTauri's fighting it out. But Axel getting actually a bit low on fuel, and this is what I said about earlier. This is a fuel heavy track, and if you're already down on the yellow, you're already down on the even, you could be in very much trouble, and I think Axel's going to be. I would not be surprised to see him run out of fuel at some point. Sway Russell's gone into the pits finally. Jav is just going to wait it out for the time being. Maybe hoping for a safety car. Get himself back in there. So Sway is pitted onto a set of softs, and now seeing Camke right on the back of Jav. And when is he going to get past is the question. 11.4 on the hards for the Flip. Showing that those hards do have pace. It's just how do you get it out of there? So Camke is trying to get through on Jav. It's very difficult to do so for this part of the track. Jav going defensive here. And I think the switch back here for Camke could provide dividends. He's going to have to do it again. But I think just trying to get through. Jav parking it really. Camke towards the inside, but he's hesitant. He's sending it this time though. That's a good send. Running outside, holding it. And I think that time out, Camke is going to get through. Jav might fight this just on the DRS, but it's going to be difficult from there. And Camke has definitely lost some time there, so that's going to put him a little bit back, especially considering he does have a penalty for now. With Steban going into the pits, he must have damage. There must have been something that just happened. Yeah, damage. Soft's going to be it for Steban, and that's putting him further down as well. A lot of drivers now messing up in the second part of the race. He's going to be behind James even. He's going to have to make an extra stop as well. So him, Energetic is also pitted just now. You see this pins out then with Ryan B leading now comfortably 6.3 seconds down to Cam K, but 9.2 if you consider the penalty. And then if you consider where Bosnia is also 9.2. Cam K is gaining on Ryan B though, so both Red Bulls having a good showing here in this race from 7th and 8th. He's making that right strategy call. Pitting on that VSC. I don't know whether it's possible for the first few drivers, but there's definitely a good call made from the Red Bulls. So you have yellow flags. One of the Alfa Romeos, that's Ibo going round. Turn 1. Bosnia is right on the back of Jav. Ooh, Jav, I think, moving a bit late there. So watch out there. And is now going to move aside for MCR actually. Both of them going to be in a battle potentially for P2. But that could actually be very interesting because that gap from Cam K to Bosnia is about 2.3. If you're MCR, you see this right ahead of you. You're not going to fight Bosnia too much because then you lose touch with Cam K potentially. You just want to make sure you gain enough time first so that isn't at risk. And then you could potentially try and overtake Bosnia. Get the best possible position. We'll have to see how they go after this. Slayer going very wide there. Getting a better exit though. Axel going a little bit on the curb there. Good race from the Greek. I think last time out in Zam 4 he did this as well. He had a very good race. But if that fuel is actually an issue, that could hurt him a lot here. The gap from Ryan B to Cam K is decreasing rapidly at this point. I don't know if Ryan B made a mistake, but that's a 4.2. There's Jav going to go into the pits. This time it is. Both Alpha Tauris are going to continue on, obviously. And we've seen Axel T outside of Slayer. But this time it's not going to be the move. On the switchback, though. Gets himself alongside, then towards turn 2. Has to back out of that one, though. Slayer just about keeps ahead. But Axel's looking feisty. Axel look like he wants to fight this at least as hard as he can. Seeing Jav onto a set of mediums with Steven getting the fastest lap now, 11.2. Jav getting out just ahead of the Alpine there. Yellow flags, one of the Alfa Romeos, that's once again Ibo. Just off to the side, no safety car seen to be called out. Both AlphaTauri still in this battle for P5 here. It's good to see this. Slayer keeping ahead for the time being. Then towards chicane. Axel's looking for it. Zero Killers were tied in the pits here. First retiree of the day actually. He's got to quit lap 29. You can see if Axel is going to be able to make a move with Slayer. I'm going to keep an eye on this gap at the front. 3.1 between the two Red Bulls. And Bosnia and MCR are gaining on both Red Bulls. So this could all get very close towards the end. I'm not saying Ryan B has it in the bag yet. I don't know if he does. So Mr. Wouter, so James Wouter actually gets past Costa Rica. Mr. Wouter has to be careful with this AI car. I think it goes. It just goes off to the left, luckily. Not causing any issues. But 4 seconds in about 6.5 laps. This is not an impossible scenario for Bosnia or MCR. It could happen. Bosnia is looking the quickest out of these bunch right now. Dropping MCR here actually. This could be well interesting. Axel still in the back here as well. Slayer. These two are not in the contention for the win. They're losing time currently to the top 4. Bosnia is getting in the DRS here potentially. Already off Cam K. Yeah, he does. Game on, I'd say. 2.8 seconds now for Bosnia, down to Ryan B. And this is going to decrease. Cam K could do his teammate a very good job by defending as hard as he can. But let's see if he thinks of that himself. So you have more yellow flags. That's Ivo again, I presume. Yeah. We're going to see this down towards turn 7. Bosnia's going to have to be patient, not exaggerate, because look how much he's gaining. It's 1.5. Is Ryan B in fuel issues as well, potentially? Is that why he's driving so slowly? Or is he just not having the pace? Seeing Bosnia. Oh, Bosnia. Oh, you can't be doing that. Aye, that was not the right way to do it. I think he was trying to go for a move. I saw 0.0. He must have gone for a move somewhere that wasn't quite on, I think. It's still possible. It's definitely still possible. Ryan B might have shot himself in the foot here. There's something going on here. He's letting his teammate go through. I'm so confused what the strategy is. He must have some sort of fuel issues, because otherwise I have no clue what's going on there. MCR is now going to look for a move maybe on Bosnia, but I wouldn't do that if I'm the McLaren. I don't know why Bosnia's going defensive, because that was just a waste of time there, and he's going to have more issues on the exit. MCR is now looking for his opportunity, and it gets through. Good move from the McLaren there, and he looks on point here. He might be the one that could take this. Obviously, Kamka, I don't know if he's getting that pin removed. If that was, you know, like that, there's a good chance he does. But, you know, professionally, we can't assume that he does get that removed. So, you know, you never know, he has more warnings if he, you know, actually did deserve to get a warning. I'm not too sure, but obviously going into the pits, it's not quite a point where you can get a warning easily, I'd say. It's just a bit weird, especially for like a corner cutting or exceeding track limits. Anyways, we have just over 4 laps remaining here, and we have a top 4 train now. Slay and Axel actually not too far off. You know, if something happens, there's something on the cards for these guys as well. But again, Axel's on low fuel, so he's gonna be struggling. Slayer could be in, definitely. MCR is gonna go for a move on Ryan B. Ryan B is trying to defend this. Oh, he gets wide, he gets himself a bit unstable. I've seen Bosnia go for a move. Ooh, getting very close there. Ryan B is absolutely parking this like he's Checo Perez. And Bosnia has gone through an MCR, but now it's time for Bosnia to go through on Ryan B. This is some interesting stuff, I can't lie. Either Ryan B has some sort of... I'm trying to detect the issue, but I don't see it. Either he's just that slow right now, or he's trying to hold up the rest of the grid to benefit Kamke for his team, for the constructors 1-2 potentially here. This is fascinating, I can't lie. And it's going to allow Slay and Axel to get into the battle here. But Bosnia is now right in the back of Ryan B. Ryan B doesn't have much to defend with. Ryan B is not using either. He must have some sort of issue, because this is in... Look how much he's losing. He's already losing to MCR on that straight as well. Either it's a fuel issue, which is not showing up, but he might just be over slightly and just knows he has to fuel safe. Because if he was trying to hold these guys up, he's not done that much of a good job. Bosnia's got wide there, just coming for turn 7, it's going to lose him more time. MCR is going to get involved now. Swayros' pass goes recon for P10, still some points on the offers here. Jav and Steven getting close together as well, as Energetics weirdly has pit there. I guess you can get the fastest lap, but he lost the position to Swift to do it. So that's a weird move there from Energetics, just losing your self points. Jav gone past on Ghost Recon as well. He's up into P11, looking for a solid heap of points, I think. Following him through Swayros. He could have a top 10 finish here. See if that's going to be the case. Slayer is now called up to this train. Slayer has fresh tires, along with Bosnia, he's got the freshest tires of this lot. He's dropped Axel fully. This is fascinating, this ending, 2 laps to go, just under 2 laps actually. And Bosnia is looking provisionally on for a race win still. because he is keeping that gap around where it needs to be compared to Kamke. As I see Ryan B losing touch now here as well, with means Slayer could get in on the action and potentially get more, as Ibo just letting everyone through there, not getting himself involved, which always good to see, obviously. Slayer right on the back here of Ryan B. Let's see if he's going to make that move stick anytime soon. I think down towards turn 1 he has a good option there. Have to see as we head on to the final lap pretty soon here. Kamke is gonna try it. He's got some battery to burn, so Bosnia definitely can't afford to make a mistake. Slayer's gone past Ryan B now, and if he, you know, you'd have to have a tremendous final lap, but podium on the cards. Has to get about a second and a half. Something has to happen, I think, for him. So Bosnia is gonna have to fight this as much as he can compared to Kamke. This could be interesting. 2.6 is the gap here. Yellow flags. I think Axel has run out of fuel already. Yeah, he has. Oh, that's early. Are we going to see more cars run out of fuel? Ryan B has run out of fuel, I think, here as well. Kamke, is he going to run out of fuel? He's low, not that low. Bosnia seems fine. MCR is fine. Axel's going to drop down here. Kamke seems fine by the way he's driving. And is he going to get this? He has to absolutely push his final few corners, and he's getting the fastest lap of the race, by the way. But it looks like Bosnia is just about going to hold on here. Kamke using absolutely everything, so it's Bosnia, and I think Bosnia is going to take this race win provisionally. Kamke getting across the line first here at the Dutch Grand Prix, but it's going to be NSX Bosnia taking his first win in D3 here. Right ahead of Kamke, MCR, Slayer, Ryan B, I think just about made on fuel. That's the only thing I can imagine why he was so slow at the mid part of the race. It's Mr. Wouter, James head, P6 and 7, good recovery there from James. Flip, Sway Ross, Jaff just about making it on fuel as well. Getting a top 10 finish there. Axel definitely not doing that, and he's going to get passed by Steban here, across the line. P11 for Steban, P12 for Axel. Great effort in terms of pace, but just not enough in terms of fuel then. Goes Recon, Swip and Energetics look like they're going to pick up the final few points, with Energetics also having a fastest lap point, so that's 2 points for him. But yeah, absolutely exciting race, not quite knowing what is going to happen. And yeah, Bosnia coming out on top. Great effort there from the Williams driver. Querfauer, Sinful, Nebo, just at the points, and that's going to be it. We're going to see how, yeah, just run for the results a little more. One entertaining race that was, once again. And NSX Bosnia will be very happy with that. Kamke saying he's getting that removed. We'll have to see about that. But for now, he's classified as P2. Obviously, if it is, then we'll see about that in steer supports, and we'll obviously notify that as well in the next stream. MCR running out the podium though. Slayer, very good effort in P4, has to be said. Ryan B in P5. Wouter in P6. After that little hiccup in the middle of the race. With James as well. I think they'll both be gutted. Flip as well, P8. Swayros P9. Jaff P10. He'll be probably happy with that, I reckon. Then Steban P11 with Axel P12. Goes Recon, Swip and Energetics. Getting a fast lap point as well, so he'll be on 2 points as well as Swip. Sinful, Quervauer not getting any points as well as Ibo. And the DNF for Serial Killer. And as well as the pole points, obviously we have to account for MCR, so he'll be on 22 points for this round at least. I think that's going to be it though. An exciting Grand Prix. Postnik coming out at the top, provisionally ahead of Kamke, MCR, and we're going to have a quick look at the standings as this. I think Kamke will still be leading no matter what. unless he gets penalties somehow. You never know. We're gonna have a quick run. I think Kamke and MC are looking like they're gonna break away with this so far. Which, yeah, is the case basically. Kamke is gonna go up to 80 points. MCR gonna go to 69 here, and Bosnia to 52.